Hi everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. Before we get started, be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. Now this is another part in my favorite fonts series, and this one is all about sketch fonts. So I'm going to show you how to use these in Cricut Design Space. I'll write them out and I'll give you a nice up close view so you can see really what they all look like. And then I'll have a list down below for you that you can download with clickable links. Plus you can just grab all the links from my website. So I'll link that down below for you. This is a super fun way that you can use with both writing or engraving or even your foil tool to really have some more filled in fonts. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, just in case you haven't seen any of my other videos, I do want to show you how to download and install the font, just so you know how to do that first. So you'll pick whichever font you want, which again, you can download on my website. There's a big clickable list, or you can just click them on the website. But right here, you're going to go to whichever font you want. So I'm going to get this Kinder School Sketch, and I'm just simply going to click download. Now it's going to open up and ask me where I want to save my folder. So I have it saved in my sketch fonts folder, and I'm going to click save. Now you're going to need to open the folder that you just downloaded, which is the sketch fonts folder. And because these folders are compressed or zipped, you'll need to extract or unzip them. It's the same thing. Go ahead, click extract all, and then simply click extract. Now, some of these are only going to have a true type font, but others will have an open type font. If open type is available, you want to install that one. But because it's not, we can use the true type and that will be fine, but an open type is usually preferred. You're going to right click on your font, and then you're going to go ahead and go to show more options, because you want to install this for all users and not just install it. If other people use your computer or you've got other programs, installing for all users is the best choice. That way you can use it across all of the different profiles on your computer and all your different programs. So go ahead and click install for all users. It will install and then it's good to go. Now, if you've had your Cricut open during your install process, you'll need to close the Cricut Design Space and reopen it so that it can load the new font in. But if you haven't done that, if it's closed, you can just open Cricut and start designing. So now, of course, I want to show you how these look once they're in Design Space. And I'm going to use a pen to write them so that you can really see them. But I'm going to just add some text and show you kind of how to select your text. And you're just going to click text and then type in what you want it to say. So I'm just going to start with one of the fonts, and I'm just going to put the font names as what we're going to write, just so you can see what the font looks like and we know which font it is. So I'm going to put my text in, and then you go up to where it says font and you click the down arrow, and then you can search for the font that you want. You just can use like the first couple letters. And I'm just going to click on that, and now you'll see that my font has changed over. Now these are going to be kind of big. I'm going to try to fit them on like a 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock so that you can see what they look like. But I'm going to go ahead, and I don't want to cut this out because these would be awful to cut with vinyl. But these are great for things like engraving, your foil tool, writing with your pen. So those are what I would use them for. So for these, I'm going to select pen, and you'll see that it looks a little different, and I can make it bigger so you can see it. But this is going to just be a blank space, this kind of like shadow section, which is fine. It's going to look pretty cute regardless. And that'll just have a little bit of a blank section. But because we're going to make these relatively small, they should look pretty well filled in. So it's going to look pretty good. Now I'm going to just kind of do this for each of the fonts that we have. So like this one's called Chalk Handwriting. And I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to choose the font, and I'm just going to type in the couple letters for chalk and find the one that says Chalk Handwriting. Now, occasionally I've been having some issues with the newer development of Cricut Design Space, and you'll see here that it says it's unable to change my font. That's kind of annoying. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and I will just skip that one for now, and I'll come back to it. But what I can do is I can go back into my computer, uninstall the font, and try reinstalling it and see if that fixes it. But instead, we'll just change it to Sketch Chalk for now, and we'll just change the name. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for each of our different fonts. I'm going to get them kind of lined up so that I can put them on to that piece of paper, and then we will go ahead and write them on our machine. I had to do some welding, some attaching, all sorts of crazy things to get this to work. You won't have to do that because you're not going to be using all of these at once. This is just a lot for Cricut Design Space to handle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Make, and it's going to send it over to our mat. Now you can see all of our designs on the screen, and then you'll see over here, right next to your mat, is where it tells you the functions that your mat's going to do. Ours is only going to be working with the pen. Now, this is a lot of writing for the Cricut to handle, so it's going to take a while. So I'll just kind of put the paper in and we'll speed it up really quickly so that you can see it kind of writing, and then I'll show you what they all look like when it's done. Now don't worry, I'm not going to show you this writing all of the fonts, but I did want to show you the machine writing a little bit. Now I will tell you that this did take pretty much all day for this to write, but it's because I did so many different fonts with so much text and so many lines. So if you're doing this, just keep in mind this will take a little bit longer than like a traditional writing, but it does work, and I would not recommend doing like all of these at once. But they do come out really, really nice. Now, I will say you'll notice that when you see the full design, some of the pen lines are going to look a little bit lighter. It's because my pen did start to die a little bit and ended up dying the next day. So just keep that in mind as well. I wouldn't recommend doing this with a Cricut pen. I would totally recommend like Sharpies and stuff. They last a lot longer. So can't wait to see what these all look like when they're all finished. And here they are all finished. Like I said, they came out really, really nice, but this did take a long time. So just give yourself time. If you're going to use any of these sketch fonts to write with, to do any engraving or foiling, they will take quite a bit longer than some of the others. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in those comments down below. Don't forget that you can download a clickable list, and you can also just find all the links to these fonts on my website, which I've linked down below for you. This is such a fun way to use these different features with your Cricut and try out different things. You can see that these all look pretty well filled in, and they're really nice fonts. But again, leave yourself some extra time when you're filling in fonts because it does tend to take a while. But I do think that they come out really, really nice. I've tried a lot of these with my engraving tool as well, and they work really well. But again, it does take some time, and I feel like people don't always think about that. So just leave yourself that extra time. Now, if you again have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Always happy to answer those for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.